Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Hooper from FixYourGut.com, and today we are going to be reviewing TB12 Sports. This came across my desk because we had some listeners that were comparing the TB12 Sports philosophy with some of my exercise and sports science that I've been putting out through Fix Your Gut and on other podcasts. And they said, what do you think about this? And how do you reconcile the differences between what you're telling people and what these people are telling you? And so today I'm just going to go through this site and just give it a review and tell you about what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So TB, of course, stands for Tom Brady. And the TB12 method was created by one of Tom Brady's coaches or something along those lines, somebody who worked with Tom Brady, and Tom Brady endorses this site. We're going to see him on this site quite a bit. And for those of you who don't know Tom Brady makes $15 million a year as an NFL quarterback. He recently began playing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Before that was with the New England Patriots. He's number 12, and he is the co-founder of this company, and I put it in quotes, co-founder, because I'm not sure to what extent he's involved other than, using his image and likeness on the website. I don't know how well he actually follows this kind of stuff. We'll have to see as we go through the site. But as we go through, we've got it's a really nice-looking website. Scrolling down, we have got Tom Brady right there, and got a lot of product placement. Hey, there's Tom Brady again. Looks like he's studying for the bar or something. There's an app. There's merch. That's kind of cool. So yeah, nice looking site. As we kind of go through up here on this thing, meet Steve. Just some people that have gone through this program and have gotten some benefits from it. So customer testimonies, healthy habits. They push a lot of supplements on this site that are inspired by the daily habits of Tom Brady. Our newest innovative supplements, including Perform, Recover, and Protect, were designed to support your performance, recovery, and quality of life. Interesting. Still here. Yep, Tom Brady's been playing in the NFL this is his 21st season. That's crazy. So yeah, he's definitely had some longevity in the sport. But this is a relatively new company, so I don't know how much of this stuff that he's done before and after. I do know that he got with a nutrition coach at some point. It was several seasons back where he stopped eating nightshades because he had a nightshade sensitivity, and he started getting a lot less inflammation in his joints and all that kind of stuff. So good for him. Got somebody that helped him out with that. But yeah, still here. Let's see what this is all about. So there's Tom Brady doing some foam rolling. He's got some Adidas Ultra Boosts. That's kind of cool. Those are comfy shoes. Those are Ultra Boost, the new Ultra Boosts. Maybe is Tom Brady a sneakerhead? That's kind of cool. All right, so the TB12 method, again, inspired by the longevity of Tom Brady, whether playing for the New England Patriots or the Tampa Bay Bucks. So immediately we start getting product placement for this plant-based protein and TB12 electrolytes. The first thing that I start to notice about this are the prices. This is 30 servings of plant-based protein for $52. This is 18 servings for $40. And then this is the same but unflavored plant-based protein. Don't know why they need I guess this is chocolate, this is unflavored, this is vanilla. And then they've got an electrolyte supplement that's $15. So that's crazy. Let's check out this electrolyte supplement first just to see what's in there. So again, we got this trace mineral marketing to hydrate and replenish lost nutrients, support fluid absorption. Okay, let's check this out. All right, so we've got a minute amount of magnesium. Chloride is probably because of the magnesium, sodium, potassium are in salt forms with magnesium chloride, sodium chloride, potassium chloride. Doesn't list the other 69 trace minerals. It's made with seawater, purified water, low sodium sea mineral concentrate, and potassium chloride. I disagree with this recommendation that 45 milligrams of magnesium is 11% of the RDA. That's barely anything. Barely enough to move the needle as far as magnesium supplementation. Maybe an electrolyte drink might be a little different. I don't see any kind of flavoring agents. Oh, that's because this is unflavored. Lemon, raspberry, peach, mango. All right. So just looking at this right here, if we took just seawater, right, which is apparently what this is made from, and low sodium sea mineral concentrate, whatever that is, if you take just seawater and you look at the mineral distribution in parts per million, there's going to be about 10,000 parts per million of sodium. Now they're saying low sodium, so I don't know how they're like. Are they going to a different sea that doesn't have as much salt in it? I just don't understand that part of it. It's only about 300 parts per million potassium, but they do add some potassium chloride to help with that. And then they've got, for magnesium, it's only going to be about 1,200 parts per million. So these ratios are way off with this. And the amount, and the different forms of magnesium, sodium, potassium are not all going to be chlorinated forms. A lot of them are going to be calcates and oxides, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, this seawater purification thing kind of seems a lot like marketing and not very realistic. But to charge $15 for something that's essentially like one of those like flavor enhancer deals, like those Mio things that you see people with, I guess you got to have really good marketing. But let's go back here. Let's check out their plant-based protein for $52. Let's see what we get here. So 24 grams of protein per serving. That's pretty good. 30 servings. That's going to be 1,000 grams at 30 servings. That can't be right. 30 servings. Let's look at one of these other ones. $600 grams, 603 grams, 18 servings. The reason why I don't think that's correct is because there's 24 grams per serving. Well, let's just go back to this one. That's easier to do the math on this one. So it's 24 grams of protein per serving, but then 1,000 grams. So we get the differential of about, so 24 grams of that's protein. 6 grams is something else. And it's saying it contains 0 grams of sugar, only 1 net carb. So 1 gram of carbohydrates, that takes care of 1 of 6. Now there's 5 grams of something else. Let's get the ingredient list here and see what's in this thing. Go back. Okay. Pea protein, which is awful for the environment, by the way. Pea protein is really bad. The way they manufacture it, it's not very environmentally friendly at all. Slightly better than soy protein, but to refine peas into pea protein takes an awful lot of energy, an awful lot of contaminants into our environment. So if you care about our environment, don't consume pea protein. It's got some cocoa. That might be some of the rest of it. Salt, gargum, stevia, which could lower Tom Brady's testosterone. Natural flavors, whatever that is. Monk fruit extract, which is really bad for your gut. That could cause SIBO. I would not recommend that for people who are SIBO, especially if you have SIBO C. Very SIBO C unfriendly. Let's see if we can find the unflavored. Apparently they don't make it in this version. Let's see if we can find that in an 18. Oh, here's the unflavored right here. This will be easier to figure stuff out. Okay. This is only 20 grams of protein, 18 servings. It's 468 grams. So then we have to make up the difference. So, wow, the difference between this and the other one. So now we have, it's roughly going to be, I'm trying to do the math here in my head. So now it's roughly, see, 20 grams per serving, and then 3 grams of something else. So that's a lot better ratio with that for sure. 20 grams of pea, so less protein per serving though. But that's fine. Only contains 1 net carb, so it still contains some sort of carbohydrate, which is probably a it's probably going to be some kind of some branched carbohydrate to help with the solubility of it, just to make it easy to mix in water, is my guess. But according to this, the only ingredient is pea protein. So I don't know. But that's crazy. That's the only ingredient, pea protein. This does not have any other pictures, so I can't really see the product label on this one. Anyway, that's an expensive supplement. Not great for the environment. Not having a good time so far with this stuff here. Still here. Okay, getting server errors. Okay, here, go back to Tom Brady and the TB method. All right, that's all we got here. Yeah, let's go back to the home page. Introducing the TB12 diet. He's got some Super Bowl wins. That's good. The myths surrounding Tom Brady's nutrition. Plant-based lifestyle. What does Tom Brady usually eat? I don't know if I'm going to read through this whole thing. Negative side effects of ultra-processed foods. Well, you can't get more processed than pea protein. I mean, it's one of the frankenfoods. So, Tom Brady's day starts at 6 a.m. Starts with electrolytes and nutrients. So, woke up, drank 20 ounces of water with electrolytes. High calorie, high fat, high protein smoothie. Bananas, blueberries, nuts, and seeds. He does his training session. says a scoop of plant-based protein. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Let's see what else is here. Inspired by Tom Brady, driven by experts. There's an app. There's some guides. High intensity interval training, recovery, hydration, marathons. Okay. All right. The TB12 playbook. That's a lot of blogs. All right, let's check this out. Tom Brady's daily routine. I like how it tells you how long it's going to take you to read it. 3 minutes. Came out this month, or I guess last month. Let's go. All right, here we go. This is Tom Brady's schedule. Okay, take notes because this is how you make $15 million a year. Okay, so again, wakes up at 6 a.m., starts his day with 20 ounces of water infused with TB12 electrolytes, lemon flavored, of course. Yeah, of course. Then a half an hour later, he takes TB12 Perform. What is this? It's a supplement with no label. What's in this thing? $60. Holy cow. $60. What's in this stuff? Supplement facts. Here we go. Okay, for $60 you get half a gram of ashwagandha, a third of a gram of rhodiola, something called Zynamite, which is mango leaf extract that includes mengaferrin, Zembrin, 25 milligrams, so and some fillers. So you're basically paying $60 for 30 servings of adaptogenic herbs to mimic cortisol. So at 6:30 a.m., that's a good time to do it. So yeah, okay, he takes some adaptogens because he's got to perform at his best because he's got a long day ahead. Okay, 7 a.m. drinks his favorite nutrient. Yeah, we read about this. Oh, wait a second. In this version of it, he's drinking whey protein isolate. I thought he was a vegan. This plant-based stuff. This is lactose-free, 20 grams per serving, $42 for 20 servings. Yikes. What's in this stuff? Whey protein from milk and some soy lecithin, yeah, to mix. That's expensive. 20 grams, let's see how much. So that's actually a better protein to serving ratio here for a pound of this stuff as opposed to the unflavored plant-based proteins. I think So whenever I evaluate a protein powder, you're going to be looking for the grams of protein per serving. That's how you can figure out how much filler is in there. And so this claims it has a 0 gram sugar fat, which is 1 gram less than the plant-based protein, the pea protein stuff. So so apparently the pea protein filtering can't get quite all of it out. They probably use an isopure process. So we're looking at about 22 grams, or 21 to 22 grams per, let's see, 450 divided by 20. Yeah, so very, very close to pure protein. So they probably use an isopure. It's probably not a bad protein, but can you get an isopure protein that is going to be less than $2 per serving, which is 20 grams? Absolutely, you can find one of those. Yeah. Okay, but only the best for Tom Brady. Okay, so, all right, where are we at? Tom Brady, he takes this TB12, he drinks this shake, puts in some seeds and nuts. Okay, he does a pre-workout pliability session. So this is the area of disagreement that I have with this site, is that I don't think that you should stretch before necessarily you do a weight training session, particularly in the major lifts, because essentially most of what you're doing when you're lifting in the squat, the bench press, or the deadlift is that you're conditioning your body, you're training your central nervous system to move a certain way. And when you're altering the flexibility, you're artificially, and you're stretching beforehand, especially as in static stretches, you're artificially increasing your flexibility. So now your nervous system kind of doesn't know what to do because your rotation is different, your pelvic interior tilt changes, your rotation is going to be slightly different. And if you think about how many different motions go into doing a squat, and our brain just blocks it all together. It says, I'm going to do a squat. Here I go. So that's why a lot of times it'll kill your gains if you do that stuff. But pliability, I'm not really sure. It doesn't really say 100% stretching. It could just be foam rolling or whatever, just to kind of warm up his muscles. I think the best way, though, to warm up is just to warm up on a lower weighted version of whatever activity. So if you're going to warm up on the squat, just squat the barbell to warm up, and then load up, and then progressively load up to your work rate. Okay, so from 8 to 10, functional strength and conditioning workout. Dang, 2 hours of strength and conditioning. That's pretty good. Most of my workouts don't last anywhere near that long, but I'm not a professional athlete. Tom Brady is. Okay, it looks like he's doing band work. Well, if he's doing band work for 2 hours, I might be able to do that. If he's doing whatever he's doing right now. Is he doing face pulls? Or is he doing some kind of a rotator cuff warm-up exercise? Maybe that's part of his pliability. I don't know. 10 to 10:30. Post-workout pliability to accelerate muscle recovery. Okay, so a half an hour of something. Now, if you're going to stretch, that's the time to do it, is post-workout, because you don't want to interfere with your workout. But don't overstretch. That's not going to be good for you either. Okay, so at 10:30 a.m. he drinks his post-workout protein shake, a scoop of TB12, chocolate plant-based protein, and almond milk, with a squirt of electrolytes. So he's putting his favorite lemon electrolytes into chocolate protein and almond milk. Gross. Hopefully he's using the unflavored. So at 10:30, I think that's when Tom switches to being a vegan, maybe, because he started doing whey protein and now he's doing plant-based. Okay, 10:45, he refills his 64-ounce Big Tom bottle. I gotta get one of those. With cold water, adds a splash of his electrolytes. Good. It's very hydrating. Probably sweated a lot in that 2 hours. Probably thirsty. Then he's going to go up and do some film study. Okay. and he's locked in thanks to the TB12. So he's got the adaptogens are still working, so he's gonna be able to study that film. Good. Actually, after the workout, you're gonna want to lower your cortisol as soon as possible to speed up your recovery. If you're taking adaptogens after your workout, that's not going to be good. So don't do that. You want to switch from an catabolic state to an anabolic state, and cortisol is not going to help with that. 2 o'clock, time for a healthy snack. Tom never goes too long without snacking. Okay. From the form of a protein bar, hummus, veggies, nuts, or fruit. Tom eats a lot of processed foods. 3 o'clock, hits the field for a long afternoon practice with his Bucks teammates. Okay. Works out for 2 hours out on the field. That's pretty good. And yeah, the Tampa sun is pretty hot, so probably should be staying hydrated out there. You don't want to hydrate past the point where you can absorb, though, or else you're going to be running back to the locker room to pee like every half an hour, and then that's not going to be good. And you definitely don't want to take a hit to the midsection with a full bladder. That would be worse, to have a rupture. So yeah, you drink when you're thirsty. Don't overhydrate. It's not even really overhydrating. It's just drink until you pee. Okay, so 5 o'clock, practice wraps up, recovery begins. 5:15, we need a post-practice recovery boost. So he drinks his chocolate plant-based thing again with almond milk and electrolytes. Great. Post-workout, pliability. Dinner. Did I miss lunch? When does he eat lunch? Oh, yeah, I did miss lunch. Lunchtime. He often eats a piece of fish, but always with a lot of vegetables. So definitely not plant-based. If you're eating fish. Fish is not a plant. Post-workout, pliability session, okay. You know, he's got $15 million. He could just get a massage therapist just to work on him. That's what I would do. 6 o'clock dinner. Nutrient dense with a diverse offering of veggies. So, okay. He doesn't drink tea. Why would he? But he drinks a cup of bone broth. Is that plant-based bone broth? Okay, so from 6 to 8, dinner and whatever. 8 o'clock, Tom likes to help his body recover, using his vibrating pliability roller and sphere. What is this thing? $280 for a motorized foam roller that we get one picture of. What is this? What is this? $280 for this thing? Holy cow. I cannot believe that. That is a lot of money. Okay. So, at 8 p.m., he's foam rolling it out, especially through any sore spots or tight areas. Okay, guys. You do not want to foam roll in certain areas. I personally think foam rolling is a waste of time. It's kind of like a self-massage a little bit, but it's not really hard enough to do anything. The foam rolling thing came out with the popularity of myofascial release therapies, but to release the myofascia, you need a whole lot more pressure than a foam roller. Okay, if you've ever done myofascial release, it is painful. They jab into you with not a foamy object, but more like a metal object. And it's going to take more than 20 to 30 seconds to per muscle group to do that. So, but with the foam roller, be careful because you can mess yourself up pretty easily. There's some studies out there showing that if you're foam rolling, like if you're tight in the erector spine, which a lot of people are because they sit too long every day, they start to get cell phone posture too, where they're sitting, they're rolling their shoulders forward, and they're rounding the lower back. So they'll get lower back pain, and then they'll start foam rolling down there, and studies show that it can damage the lumbar spine. So be very careful where you're foam rolling, especially if you're using like a vibrating foam roller or something like that. I just don't think that's a good idea, but yeah. Okay. 8:30 after a long day, physical and mental strain, Tom turns to his TB12 recover. Let's see what's in this. $60. Same price as the Perform. Again, only one picture. What is in this thing? Cherry Tart powder. It's probably basically melatonin, egg membrane, some humanoid complex, which are not going to be absorbed because it's not liposomal. So it's a lot of nothing that's going to do. Baswilla extract, so another adaptogen, but to slow down cortisol. So for $60, you get some melatonin, this like egg membrane stuff, which is going to do nothing for you. You're just going to your stomach's just going to break it down into amino acids. It's not going to do anything. Bioflex, it's supposed to be a joint. It's marketed as a joint repair thing. Again, at half a gram, it's not going to be doing anything. And number two, your body's just going to break it down to amino acids. It's not going to do anything more than any other protein you would probably eat, is going to do for you. And it might even cause SIBO because of the sulfur in it, and also some of the glycoproteins that are in the egg membrane. If they're not filtered out through this process, that could cause SIBO as well. Yeah, if you're going to take curcumin or type of complex, you want a liposomal form like that Minerva is going to get to where it needs to go. Otherwise, your stomach can break down curcumin pretty easily. It does have a decrease in reductive oxygenated species in the gut, but if you want it to have a systemic effect in the body, you need the liposomal form and then Baswilla. So yes, $60 for all this. That's a very expensive supplement. I would like to know the markup on that. I'm guessing it's something like $59 if you include packaging. All right, let's get back into this routine, if I can. Okay, we're getting back into Tom Brady's routine. Did I miss it? Okay, here we go. Okay, so from 8 to 9 o'clock bedtime. So he wakes up at 6 and he goes to bed at 9. Sleep is crucial. VitaFit's Rested Blend. Great. To make sure he gets 8 hours of sleep. Well, he's getting more than 8 hours if he's going to bed. That's 9 hours. He's waking up at 6. Bed at 9. What's in this stuff? $35. That's not as bad. What's in it? Marine water magnesium. 1,000 milligrams would be good. Now, is it 11% of this is magnesium? Because taking 1,000 grams of marine water magnesium could give you disaster pants. I mean, he could be waking up, let's just put it this way, he could be waking up a lot earlier than 6 a.m. that morning if he's down in 1,000 milligrams of this junk. But it's probably a gram. Instead of an entire gram, it's probably 100 milligrams, which is not a whole lot. And then more of these cherry skins, which is basically more melatonin. I'd say get a better, like, forget this marine water stuff. Get some magnesium glycinate, maybe throw in some malate. If you're an athlete, definitely throw in some malate, magnesium malate. And ornithine, maybe, I don't know. Use that, save you a bunch of money. Don't mess with this stuff. All right, so anyways, in bed by 9. So, yeah, that's his routine every night. I don't see anything in here about, I mean, isn't he married to like a supermodel or something, like Giselle, whatever her name is? I definitely would have something like spend time with gorgeous wife somewhere in this routine, but I don't know. Maybe he just cuts that. He doesn't have anything else in here, and as far as entertainment or whatever. But yep, that's what Tom Brady does. That's how you make $15 million a year. So one thing I notice is that he eats just a ton of processed food. All these he drinks 3 protein shakes. And according to a video that I made a while ago, drinking protein shakes can lower your lifespan by 33%. So if he's drinking 3 of them, I'm surprised he's still alive at the age of, how old is Tom Brady? It's like 40 or something. And then he eats a protein bar too. So we're talking about, like, each one of these things has 20 grams of protein roundabout. The plant one has a little bit more. The whey has a little bit, has exactly 20. So he's getting about 80 grams of protein. Let's just say the protein bar has about 20 grams of protein too. He's got about 80 grams of his daily protein from supplemental forms of it instead of from diet, which is a lot. And then the only other protein source I'm seeing here are these like seeds and nuts in his shakes, which can't be more than like an ounce, or else he's gonna be choking on it, you know. And given how Tom Brady's still alive and hasn't asphyxiated, he's probably not putting too many seeds and nuts into this shake. And the seeds and nuts also, now that I'm thinking about it, he eats a little bit more here. So with his snack, with his protein bar and hummus and veggies and all that stuff. So Tom Brady is 6'4", 220 pounds. Okay, so we're missing, to be able to maintain that mass, we're missing from this diet about 140 grams of protein. Not all that's coming from seeds and nuts. Say about 6 to 10 grams are coming from that. The rest is probably coming from this piece of fish. So that's going to be, let's say he's eating salmon. It's probably going to be like a 23-ounce fillet of salmon. And to put that in perspective, that's going to be about 5 restaurant portions of salmon. Now, I know I've seen professional athletes go out and eat at restaurants, and they will order multiple entrees. So this is not outside the realm of possibility for lunch. So either this plan is incomplete, or he's eating a ton of salmon for lunch. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this is just it's just a lot of supplement placement, I think, product placement. Let's just go through some of this other stuff really quickly. I think I don't have a great opinion. There you go, massage therapy. So that's a good thing. Get a massage therapist, yeah. All this band stuff. Yeah, they're basically selling a lot of bands. Okay, squatting with a band. What is that doing for you? Do you understand the squat at all? Okay, the squat deals with a downward load and being able to come back up. So what is somebody pulling on you with a band going to do for you? Okay, you're tethered to somebody doing push-ups. Okay, again, push-ups. That's coming from your chest. Okay, your triceps, your front delts. Okay, that's you're doing push-ups here. Having somebody strapped to you, um, that's not gonna do anything for your push-ups, except maybe maybe these people are like running away from their trainers and they're like, I don't want to work out, and they're taking off, and then so this kind of keeps them there. So they keep running away. Maybe these two, like, they have to team up, so it's strap them together. So there's that. So yeah, like some overhead extension with bands and all this kind of band stuff. If that's all you got, and a lot of people right now during COVID, this is all they got, because there was like a run on kettlebells. It was really hard to get. So all this Pilates stuff is pretty much nonsense. What is this doing for you right here? What is this? Nothing. That's what it is. It's not doing anything. I mean, maybe if you're 90 years old and this is all you can do, great. But for starting NFL quarterback doing this kind of stuff is like not doing a whole heck of a lot. But yeah, I mean, bands doing that, it kind of simulates a bench press, although you're getting the most tension at the extension of the bench press. So you're working way more of the triceps than you are on the deltoids and chest. So it's not as good. Some of this stuff, yeah. See, Tom Brady is strapped to this thing. So what's this supposed to simulate? Like, he's dropping back in the pocket, and he's getting resistance from the opposite direction. So does that mean that somebody behind him is pushing on him as he's trying to drop back? I don't see a lot of that in football. Shouldn't it be the opposite way? Shouldn't they strap him the opposite way so that he could resist into the throw to make that more difficult? He's got some cones here. Another thing to understand is that elite athletes train at a different level than most of the novice, intermediate, and advanced athletes. These people need a lot more stimulus. They need a lot more complexity of training. So what works for a competitive athlete is not necessarily going to be what's optimal for any other individual. So I wouldn't necessarily just copy paste, like Arnold Schwarzenegger's old training program for pumping iron, because he's an elite athlete and you're probably not. So find something that works for you at your fitness level. The other thing is that a lot of things that elite level athletes can do are because of their genetics. So a lot of the training they are able to do, especially with the mobility stuff with the cones and putting your feet through the rope and all that stuff, this is because they're high level athletes that they're able to do it. Now, using that footwork and stuff is not necessarily going to lead them to becoming a good athlete. That's not the way it works. You're a good athlete first, and then you use your athleticism to do that. The footwork stuff, there are some footwork things that are important for your technique for your sport, but if you're just kind of like putting your feet through tires, what is that doing? Nothing. That's what. Anyway, review on my site, very expensive, very marketing heavy. There's probably cheaper ways to get bands and foam rollers that do pretty much the exact same thing, which in my opinion is almost nothing. So you can save a bunch of money by just getting it from Amazon instead. So sorry, TB12 Sports. Gonna give you a thumbs down on this one. Anyway, a little bit different content this week. Did a screen capture because instead of the whiteboard stuff, because it just makes it easier to see me go through the site. If you like this video, hit the like button. Maybe you can do some more of these reviews if that's what you're interested in. If not, leave a section in the comment in this comment section and tell me what you would rather me cover, and I'll get to that. All that good stuff. Instead of doing pliability for performance, leg lifts. That's good for glutes. Yep. Yeah. Tell me what you think. All right.